Hi everyone, welcome back to Ojo Educate. Here on this channel, I educate folks on the IT tips, cybersecurity tips, and technology tips. And also, recently we launched a series on Canada immigration to educate our followers and everyone on how to apply for express entry. So in that series of Canada immigration, today I want to share with you how to calculate your CRS score. Every two weeks, the Canadian government, through the agency called IRCC, usually hold a draw, and it is called express entry draw, and usually they invite a certain number of candidates to apply for express to apply to meet the application, which is usually called ITA. So that is invitation to apply. And before this video, the last draw was held on July 20th, and a total 1,750 candidates were invited, and the CRS score, the CRS, that is the comprehensive ranking system score that was used for this particular draw was 452. So what this means is that any candidate that has any candidate that score 542 and above, any candidate that score this score and above, we automatically receive an email or a notice on their profile, which is usually called invitation to apply. So in all the candidates that are in the federal pool, a total of 1,750 candidates were invited. So how do you calculate your CRS score? It's actually an automated system. When you apply for express entry, all the details will be calculated. So I did a video also on the factor that determines what your score is on express entry. So you can check out that video on my channel. What factors do IRCC consider in selecting candidates for express entry? So quickly, we'll go through these tools, comprehensive tools, and I will also drop the link to this tools in the description, so you can always check and see and go through it yourself, read through the whole page, and you can also calculate your score as you prepare for your express entry journey. And I want you to also like this video, share it with your friends, share it with everyone around you, like it, and do where to share it. Thank you very much. So let's go through the CRS score. So I'm going to drop this link, like I said, in the description, that you can click on it and go through it. So these are the factors that actually determine the express entry. So these factors, the skill, your education, your language ability, your your work experience, and other factors. So basically, these are the factors that determines your CRS score. So we'll go. The first question here is just as I continue, just a disclaimer, I'm not an immigration officer, I'm not a consultant. I'm just sharing based on my experience as I'm an immigrant in Canada. So if you need if you have any question, just drop it in the comment section, and I will get back to you ASAP. So let's continue. What is your marital status? That's the first question. So let's assume that this fellow is married, and so the second question is that is your spouse or common law, whether it's a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen? Let's say no, that is for someone who is coming from outside Canada, and your spouse or common law partner is not a PR holder or a Canadian citizen. So if any of this is applicable to you, you are going to have additional points based on this. If your spouse is a Canadian citizen or is a permanent resident in Canada, so you have a point for that. So then the next question is, will your spouse or common partner be coming with you to Canada? Let's say yes. So how old are you? Let's just say you are maybe 32 years old. In my video on 6 selecting factor, you can check that I put in details of who can apply and how many mark the RCC allocates to each age range from 18 to 47. So what is your level of education? Let's say this candidate hold a bachelor degree, for instance. That is 4-year bachelor degree. And have you earned a Canadian degree or certificate? Let's say this fellow does not have a Canadian diploma or certificate. Official language, Canada official language, English, English and French. So do you have anyone? So we're going to say yes, because you are supposed to have taken a language test before you apply for Canada Express Entry. So it's either you take English test or French test, whichever work for you. So which language test did you take as your first language? So if it's English, let's say IS for instance, and you enter your score. IS is usually divided into 4 modules, and in the module we have the speaking, the listening, the reading, and the writing. So let's say in speaking you have, let's say you have 7 to 9. Let's say in listening you have 8.5 to this. I'm just picking the highest one, and this. Then in writing you have 7.5 to this. So the next question is, do you have another language result? So I'm going to say not applicable. If you have another one, let's say you can also you have proficiency in French. For example, you can also select TEF. So you can select TEF, but in this case, let's select not applicable. Work experience in the last 10 years, how many skill work experience in Canada do you have? This fellow have none, no year of, in the last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skill experience do you have? So let's say you have 3 years and above. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a province, that is PMP, if you have been nominated by any Canadian province? So I am going to do a video on that will talk about PMP. Let's talk about PMP. So if you have been nominated by any province in Canada, you can actually select yes, but in this case, we pick no because this candidate does not have a provincial nomination yet. So do you have a valid job offer? That is, if you have a job offer from a Canadian employer, that is what this section is talking about. So this candidate does not have a job offer, so it's no. Do you have a nomination certificate from province? No. So all the same thing, this additional point. So do you or your spouse of common law, if any, have at least a brother or a sister living in Canada? For this fellow has no biological or relative living in Canada. What is the highest level of qualification of your spouse or common law? Let's say this fellow, the spouse or common law has a master degree. And in the last 10 years, how many years of skill work in Canada does your spouse has? None, just the same way with you. Do you or your spouse or common law take English test? Yes. Let's say the spouse has an English test called IELTS. Also enter the score. Let's pick the highest for the spouse also. Yeah. So now we've come to the end of all the questions. So we can now click on this. So we're going to click on this to calculate our score and click. So in all of this, this is the result. So this candidate, with all our selection, the total CRS score for this candidate is 430. Is 430 for this candidate. So, and this is how the details have been determined. Age is 85 point. Level of education is because this fellow has a bachelor degree. Official language has this. First official language has this. So the total score for the core or human capital factor is this. So then for the spouse also has this. Then official language to transferable this, foreign experience this for this fellow. So since this fellow does not have a provincial nomination, no job offer, no studying in Canada, no sibling in Canada, and does not have French language skill, so no point in all of this. So the total point for this candidate is 430. So what does this mean? This, based on the last draw that was done on July 20th, which is 542, what this meaning that this candidate need to work on his or comprehensive score to come over to Canada. So the score here, the last score that was that we had was 542. So if this candidate want to come into Canada via express entry, the candidate need to either look for a provincial nomination by a province, to be nominated by a province, because this is, the last one was 542. So, and the candidate score is this. So what this candidate needs to do is to see how he or she can improve the score, and that can comes from the area where this candidate has 0. And one of the area the candidate can actually work is to either take a second language test like French, or look for a job in Canada to have experience in Canada, or these candidates can also go for a master degree to increase his or her score. So basically, this is how comprehensive a score work. If you have any question, drop it in the comment below, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in my next video.